Hill leader slipped scheme into spending bill to block Stymie investigations into Congress. That's when you know we have a corrupt government where they won't allow investigations into themselves. They believe they are beyond reproach. This is when you know it's corrupt. This is when you know we have a deep state that don't believe there's any checks and balances, and they can do whatever they want to do, and there's no transparency. And this is exactly what we voted against. If anyone signs this bill, I agree with what Elon Musk says. If any Republican sign these bills, they need to be gone in 2 years when we vote again for Congress. But we're gonna talk about it. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. It has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's get into this news. Now, this comes from Breitbart, um, from Sean Moran. He reports that congressional leadership slipped a provision into the stopgap spending bill that will bar or stymie investigations into Congress. Tucked within the stopgap spending bill is a provision that has inflamed controversy amongst many conservatives on and off Capitol Hill, and rightfully so. The provision, titled Treatment of Electronic Services Provided for House Offices, sounds vague but could stop or limit investigations into Congress. They don't want you to know how corrupt they actually are. Part of this section states, see, they are really preparing for Trump. They know Trump is going to go in and clean house and get rid of a lot of these corrupt politicians. And even some of them are going to end up being locked up behind some of the illegal and corrupt things they're doing. So they're trying to put a stop to those investigations by doing this. Well, part of the section states, upon a motion made promptly by a House office or provider for a House office, a court or competent jurisdiction shall quash or modify any legal process directed to the provider for a House office if compliance with the legal process will require the disclosure of House data of the House office. So think about this. It's like saying like the January 6th committee, people we wouldn't be able to go in and investigate their communications. So we won't find out how corrupt they really are and some of the illegal things that they really did. I'm just using that as an example. But it goes on to say information regarding implications of using providers, the Office of the Chief Administrative Officer, in consultation with the House Office of General Counsel, shall provide information regarding the potential constitutional implications and the potential impact on privileges that may be asserted to each House office that commissions or uses a provider of electronic communication service or remote computing services. Quote, a new provision in the latest CR lets Congress block subpoenas for House data, including emails, potentially preventing any investigation into the J6 committee, Benny Johnson, a conservative activist, wrote on X. And that's what I was just alluding to. This is to protect them because they know they're wrong. They know they could end up going to jail behind the things they did. So they want to prevent people from investigating and getting the communications that prove that they were doing some illegal stuff, but especially when it comes to the January 6th committee. They don't want you to be able to look at that information. They're going to call it privileged information and stop anyone from looking into it. A Republican staffer told Breitbart News that this appears to be the function of the provision. Senator-elect Jim Banks wrote, quote, did Liz Cheney negotiate the CR? All right, it sounds like it, right? And Donald Trump Jr. wrote, quote, so the House is going to vote to protect itself from glaring and obvious wrongdoing. The American people didn't vote for this. They voted for the opposite. They voted for transparency. This cannot pass, and I 1000% agree. Elon Musk wrote, what the heck? Musk added, quote, any member of the House or Senate who votes for this outrageous spending bill deserves to be voted out in 2 years, which I was alluding to as well. This is just another way for them to Trump-proof the government because they know Trump is coming in, is going to clean house, going to get rid of all these evil, corrupt people that's been doing illegal things for many, many years. They're doing the same thing internationally when it comes to the war in Ukraine and stuff like that. They're trying to Trump-proof this stuff. because they know the people want transparency. The people want to get rid of any of these corrupt politicians and these corrupt regulations and things like that. So again, they're doing everything they can to Trump-proof this, and this bill cannot pass, and hopefully it will not. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe, and check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.